Well, it's here at last. And it seems the first episode of The Mandalorian has dived deeper into the Star Wars galaxy than anyone could have expected. Although the pilot for the first live-action Star Wars series is paced slowly enough, things really kick into gear during the back quarter of the show's very tidy 39 minutes, and the episode's conclusion served up a truly exciting treat of a final twist. The best place to start here is probably with the elephant in the room, or more accurately, the little green baby. Anybody who's engaged with pop culture in the last 4 decades or so will immediately recognize the little tyke in the floating pram as being of the same species as Yoda, the inimitable Jedi Master who schooled Luke Skywalker in the ways of the Force. Now, The Mandalorian is set 5 years after the fall of the Empire, so Yoda is of course dead, having passed away during the events of Return of the Jedi. Through the many decades of expanded universe novels, comics, and encyclopedias based on Star Wars, Yoda's species has never actually been given an official designation, at the insistence of George Lucas himself. You may recall that The Phantom Menace briefly introduced Yaddle, another member of Yoda's species, but even then the species wasn't given a name. Lucas likely did this in the past to maintain the mystery of Yoda's character, and as far as the narrative of The Mandalorian is concerned, this could turn out to have been a wise choice. Since Star Wars is transitioning away from the Skywalkers and their story, it feels like the right time to pull the curtain away from the mystery of Yoda's people, both as an interesting expansion of the galaxy's existing lore and as a means of injecting The Mandalorian with some well-timed hype. The secondary surprise behind this literal last-minute twist is, of course, the fact that this crucial target for bounty hunters across the galaxy is a baby kept under heavy guard on a backwater boulder of a planet. Also noteworthy is the difference between the instructions given to the Mandalorian and his fellow bounty hunter, the droid IG-11. While the Mandalorian is heavily incentivized to bring his bounty in alive, IG-11's instructions were explicitly to kill, no questions asked.
This is true.
They are members of the same guild, but were obviously contracted by 2 different parties with very different interests surrounding the Yoda-like baby. So even if the remnants of the evil empire aren't particularly keen to assassinate a baby, who could possibly want the little green guy straight up dead? Perhaps more importantly, who could possibly be so invested in the life of this baby that they'd place it on a distant planet guarded by dozens of men? Of course, it's totally possible that the heavy security guarding the baby was put up by the New Republic, although this isn't made crystal clear, and it could be down to some totally different benefactor too. It's also possible that there are different factions of the former Empire vying against each other with specific interests of either protecting or killing the child. After the end of the Battle of Endor, the Empire became fragmented into a number of smaller groups competing for power and influence. It's also entirely possible that another one of these groups will come into play in future episodes, with our bounty hunters and their young quarry caught in the middle. Then you've got the Mandalorian himself. The show's protagonist was given a surprising amount of backstory right up front in this episode, but his motivations still remain very murky. For example, he refuses to take Imperial credits as payment for a mission, even though it's stated they still have monetary value. But he has no problem taking a face-to-face bounty from an Imperial. He's also clearly depicted as a hyper-competent and ruthless warrior who always gets his man no matter what.
Look, there must be some mistake. I can get you more credits.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
But at the end of the episode, he's shown tentatively reaching out with a finger to catch the baby's attention. This character, all at once a hitman, an orphan, and a fellow just trying to get by, has only just been introduced, and already it's clear that there's much more to him beyond his capacity for hunting and killing. It seems certain that the mystery of what lies underneath that helmet will be a major focus of the first season of The Mandalorian. With the first episode in the bag, though, only one thing is certain. If you were a helpless baby alien stranded alone with half the galaxy out to kill you, this is definitely the guy you'd want as your protector. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about The Mandalorian are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.